All right, so how on earth does a company built on something as old school as coal transform itself into a cutting edge tech player? Well, today we're deconstructing an absolutely fascinating $26 million pivot that does exactly that. This is the kind of story that could be a roadmap for how legacy industries can actually survive and thrive. So, this really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? How do you fund the future with the profits you're making today? I mean, this is the classic industrialist's dilemma. You've got a business that's a cash cow right now, but you can see the writing on the wall. The world is changing. So how do you use today's money to build something totally new without, blowing up the whole company in the process? Well, we're about to walk through the exact playbook a partnership between OSEP and DBK is using to tackle this head on. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll get inside the core philosophy driving this thing. Then we'll look at their three-part strategy: the now engine that pays the bills, the growth engine that scales up, and the future engine that takes a giant leap into tech. And finally, we'll ask the big question: is this a model everyone else should be copying? Okay, before we get into the millions of dollars and the fancy technology, we have to start with the big idea, the one philosophy that really guides every single move they make. And it all comes down to these two words: Brasama Technology. In English, that means together with technology. Now, according to their own documents, this isn't some fluffy marketing tagline. It's their operational North Star. It's a real commitment to weaving tech into their traditional business, not to get rid of their roots, but to use them as a launch pad for what comes next. Right, let's get into the first piece of the puzzle, the now engine. Because let's be real, you can't have some grand vision for the future if you can't keep the lights on today. You need a solid foundation, and that's what this is all about. Okay, so the Now engine gets fired up with a real-world operation, Project 237, a 20,000 metric ton shipment of coal. And check out this pricing strategy. This is clever. They've priced their coal at $77 a ton, which is just a little bit under the market benchmark. Now, that's not them messing up. It's a super smart move. They call that little discount their strategic alpha. And its whole purpose is to guarantee they win the business and get that all-important cash flowing, like right now. But you need money to make money, right? So to kickstart even that first shipment, they needed a spark. And that spark was this: a $500,000 injection of liquidity. Just to be clear, this is the seed money, the initial fuel they needed to get the Now engine up and running. And here's the kicker. Here's how they made the whole plan credible. That $500,000 wasn't just a number in a spreadsheet. It was fully backed, fully collateralized by a physical building, a mini hotel in Jakarta. I mean, what this does is it completely de-risks the whole operation right from the start. It tells everyone involved, hey, our plan is solid, literally built on brick and mortar. Okay, the Now engine is humming along, generating cash. Great, but how do you take it to the next level? Well, that's where the second phase comes in, the growth engine. And this is all about hitting the accelerator through a really smart partnership. The key to the growth phase is something called Project 241. It's a deep joint operation with a company called PT Nusantara Energy Indonesia. The logic here is just brilliant. Instead of spending years and millions trying to build a new network from scratch, they just tap directly into an existing established mine operation. It's the fastest way to scale up their production and sales, pretty much overnight. Now, a partnership like this needs fuel, too. And in this case, it's a hefty capital injection of over $2 million. This cash goes directly into upgrading the mine's infrastructure, getting everything ready to handle way bigger volumes. It's about turning a solid local operation into a major regional player. But honestly, this is the part of the deal that's the real game changer for the long run. For every single ton of coal they sell, a $5 royalty goes straight to the owner. Now just think about that for a second. This isn't some one-time bonus. It's a steady, predictable stream of cash. It's basically a pipeline of profit that's going to keep flowing for years, no matter if the price of coal goes up or down. And that is the passive income that will fuel their entire high-tech future. Okay, so just to recap, the Now engine is working, the growth engine is scaling up nicely. But all of that, everything we've just talked about, it was really just the opening act. It was all designed to set up the most ambitious part of the whole plan, the future engine. This is where they take that quantum leap from industry to technology. And there's the number. $26 million. This is the all-in bet. This is the moment they commit to a future that's built on technology. And it's not tech that replaces their business. It's tech that actually evolves it from the inside out. This is the coal company beginning its metamorphosis. So where does all that money go? It's not just one big bet. It's a carefully balanced portfolio. The biggest chunk, 18 million, goes into coal improvement technology. 5 million goes into solid-state batteries, which everyone sees as the next huge thing in energy storage. And 3 million goes into carbon nanotubes. These are insane, super strong, super light materials of the future. It's a portfolio, not a Hail Mary pass. And you can see there's a clear logic to it. Each investment has a job. First, you enhance your core product, make the coal you already sell better and more valuable. Second, you enter a brand new booming market. That's what the solid-state battery play is all about. And third, you diversify into next-gen materials that might pay off huge down the road. Enhance, enter, diversify. It's a beautifully simple and powerful strategy. So, what does this actually look like in terms of dollars and cents? This value ladder just lays it all out perfectly. You start with raw coal, right? Maybe worth 25 bucks a ton. Then you use their new tech to upgrade it, and boom, the value triples to over $78 a ton. But the third step, this is where it gets insane. They can transform that same coal into nanomaterials, and the value just explodes to as much as $800, get this, per kilogram. We're not even talking about tons anymore. The unit of measurement changed, and the price went through the roof. And this slide, I think, captures the paradigm shift perfectly. You see, the old way looks at coal as a fuel. You get the value by burning it, and its carbon turns into CO2. The new way sees coal as a feedstock. The value isn't in burning it. The value is in building with it. You're using the carbon atoms themselves to create new, advanced, durable products. I just want to pause on this number for a second. 10,000 times. Let's put that in perspective. A kilogram of raw coal costs about 2.5 cents. The nanomaterial you can build from that same kilogram of coal can sell for up to $800. That's the leap, from a couple of pennies to hundreds of dollars. That's your 10,000x value creation. So let's pull the camera back. When you look at all of these pieces together, the now, the growth, the future engines, what have we really learned? Is this just a one-off plan for one company, or is there a bigger lesson here? What this all creates is a beautiful self-funding loop. The now and growth engines are out there generating steady cash flow from the traditional business. And those profits aren't just paid out as dividends. They're systematically piped directly into funding the future engine. Today's business is literally paying to build tomorrow's company. It's a perfectly balanced system. And this line, pulled straight from their own strategy, just says it all. It's a, quote, strategic carbon value maximization approach, not for ideological reasons, but for commercial value capture. What does that mean in plain English? It means this isn't about saving the planet or making a statement. This is about cold, hard commercial logic. It's about recognizing that a single carbon atom is just worth a hell of a lot more when it's locked inside a high-tech battery than it is when it's just floating in the atmosphere as CO2. Which, of course, leaves us with this final massive question. In a world that's changing this fast, is this kind of dual-track approach where you aggressively leverage your legacy business to fund a radical high-tech pivot? Is that the essential blueprint for how every industrial company needs to think about its future? Something to think about for sure.